Namaste. And welcome to this week's live. Today is the 29th of March, 2026. We are rapidly moving towards the end of the month and an opening of the new. We're also today celebrating Palm Sunday, which is today that Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey. And I want to go deeper into, of course, what the energy holds for us today and this coming week. We're going to be talking about today what moves us today, what's the energy that wants to talk today, and how are we entering something old, something familiar in a new way? How are we presenting a new personality? And I want to say this, a personality that's always been, but been undercover by our protective ego construct, by all of the complexes that our traumas have built. And how much of that have we cleared so that we can become everything that we are soul-wise and DNA-wise meant to be? Who are in your life representing the crowd, the public that admire your accomplishments, what you have done, and also your aspirations? Like with Jesus, there was a crowd of people from Jerusalem, but also who came from the cities close by or even very far away, who were there to receive him. Who in your life are the ones covering your path ahead with leaves from palm trees? Whatever that looks like in your life, who are contributing to clearing your path, making it easier? And who are the ones creating blockages? Who are the ones preventing you from not necessarily making progress? Because I don't believe that other people have that power specifically. But how do they steal your energy? Or how do you allow them your energy? As in, how do you give your power away to other people and thus preventing your progress? Or even just thinking about feeling into your aspirations in life. What really matters? What is your divine path? What is your purpose? It's already coded within, and maybe for some more or less covered. And I do believe that that's most of us, so I dare to generalize this. For me, today has been a lot about trust. How can I trust myself in what I'm currently in? How can I trust myself with other people, but also which people can I trust? For me, this week has been a lot about what I talked about 2 weeks ago, I believe. And I believe I mentioned it last Sunday as well, that there will be people reaching out who haven't been in our lives as much as they used to, maybe, or someone from the past showing up, reaching out. We're also still in the Mercury retrograde, which is emphasizing this. But it's also the death rebirth connection that we have this month and the resurrection. So some people will resurrect in your life and you will resurrect in other people's lives. Are they the ones who are covering your path ahead with palm leaves? Are they the ones who are going to put you on the cross and kill you? That's the thing that we're looking into today, but also this coming week. Today, let's go into the numerology. As usual, 29 is an 11. 2 plus 9 equals 11. In the third month of the year, that adds up to a number 14. In the 10th year, then we are at a 24. A 20, wow, okay. This is interesting because I just got this is this is an emotional thing for me, like the epiphany I just got. And this is the acausal synchronistic happenings that actually, when we are aware of them or we are open to them, happen more or less daily. And some of them stronger than others, right? I was guided to use this deck today. Number 24 in that deck, I need to find that for you. Because my daughter just sent me a video on Instagram. And that video was with 2 swans. The female had been taken in for treatment and was then being put back into the lake with her partner. And how he had been waiting for her, and how she, when she came into the water, how they immediately connected and, cuddled with their heads and their necks. The number 24 is this card. Right? You see how those dots connect in my life? And now I'm sharing it with you. The only thing you're not getting is the video that my daughter sent me. Maybe I can put it up in our group later. But so the swans, what are they? They're monogamous. They are partners. They are, I want to say, natural partners. This is a soul calling right now to the 24. What is the 24 when reduced? That's number 6. That is the lovers. But it is not a synthetic love, as in something that we can tell ourselves that we love that person, or it is a genuine, heartfelt connection. Natural, biological, spiritual, emotional, on all levels. Do we know if swans feel love the way we do? They probably don't, but we project our experience of love and partnership onto them. So when we see it like I did today with the video with this and with the 24, I project my own emotions towards that, what that means, into what I see. That connects to the energy of this entire week. The week we've been through and the week that we're heading into, where we are wrapping March up and we are entering April. The thing about the trust here is what's emphasized. That the people who resurrect in our lives, maybe we don't initially trust them because they just resurrected, right? They just came back. And we don't know if we can trust them yet. I know that's what I feel. But there's also this, are they asking for trust? Or are they asking for your time? See, again, I have been in this state, like, I felt immediate, like, okay, I need a distance here. I can't immediately go into trusting you again because you betrayed my trust in the past. But I don't have to. Who has ever told me that I have to? Maybe it's a weak beginning. Maybe it's an infantile, maybe that's a better, instead of saying weak, maybe it's an infantile state. Like when we meet someone new, we might feel a chemistry, that there is some kind of connection, but we don't go into immediate trust. We build trust over time. So the people who have resurrected, and maybe like you have resurrected in someone else's life, don't immediately project trust into the equation, but put a level of curiosity, investigate, go on an adventure into the connection which is forming itself anew. Like when Jesus walked into Jerusalem, he hadn't been there since he was young, 12, if I remember correctly. He had to move out of Jerusalem to be experienced for who he was. Otherwise, he would have been put in the box that he could never free himself from. We can connect that to family or old friends, how they put us in a box by experiencing us then. And it gets a whole lot more difficult to evolve out of the box. But if we remove ourselves and put ourselves into a different environment, we ourselves get a chance to develop into who we are meant to become. And then we can come back in with everything that we are to be experienced anew. Some people will not experience us anew, like the priests in Jerusalem in the temple. They did not acknowledge Jesus for his growth. They wanted and they needed to put him in the box that he was for them. He could never evolve out of that box. That was why they crucified him. So, how do we do that? That's the question. Do we trust ourselves enough to move ahead and do what's good for us? Or do we feel more comfortable in staying in even that hell where we're kept locked in a box? Because it feels more comforting, more safe, like safer, and we feel more protected in that energy. That's the same thing as asking ourselves if we are okay with reliving our traumas consistently through the complexes that control that, and telling us that we have to be on red alert all the time to see the trauma unfolding again and again and again. Even in the process of what the complexes are trying to do, they're trying to keep us from reliving the trauma, and yet they cause exactly that, because we project all of the danger that we felt at that given moment into what we are looking at now. We are looking for the bad. In the same room is the reality that it's not the same as when we were traumatized. It is different. And when I say traumatized, it can be something as little as a little boy or a little girl reaching up to mommy saying, up mom, and the mother's peeling potatoes and say, no, not now. I'm peeling potatoes. When I'm done, I will take you up. And the baby feels abandoned and neglected and all of that. It can be such a teeny tiny thing for an adult, but a deeply traumatizing matter for the child. We have to acknowledge that. So there are levels of trauma. That's what I'm saying. There are nuances to trauma. But we're definitely being told today that there's something about the swans. There's something about the love, the natural, the biological, the emotional. Do swans choose it? Or are they, by the energy that they present, attracted to one another? And that's why I'm talking about a synthetic or biological natural love. Because when we do not live our true essence out, we live out a projection of what we think we are based on our past. When we do that, we attract people who are a match to that. Then I was sitting with this thought, like about my past relationships, how much they were not for me, but I wanted to fit them into the box where it could be a match to me. And that also meant that I would put myself in a box that would be a match to them. That is what I mean by synthetic love, because there was no genuinity in it. Like, I can be everything I am, I can be all of my complexes, I can be all of my traumas all at once and still be held. Because the real, true, natural love goes beyond that veil of projection. It goes behind the scene of the role that we have taken on and learned to play because of what we've been through. We're being called out on stage, not to hide behind the curtain, but to show ourselves as everything we truly are. But how do we do that if we don't know what that is? We might not cognitively be aware of it, but emotionally we always are. How do we know that? Because we feel it intensely within. We feel when we're having a physical response to something happening in the outside world, in our environment. We feel when we are triggered. And when we are triggered, we can make damn sure that we're in a complex. Then we have to lean into that uncomfortability, find the courage to do that and look for its essence. What is it really trying to tell us? It feels to me like kind of a heavy day. But Jesus knew when he was riding into Jerusalem on that donkey, he knew what was going to happen to him. He knew it all along. That takes a heck of a lot of courage to do. And we're guided to do the same. That's what the heaviness about today is. It is this facing reality as it is. Not as we desire our reality to be. It's a drop of all illusions and a move into what's real. And that goes for us individually as well. What is real about you? What is real about everything that you've ever been through? What was the real part all along? When I look back upon my life, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, let me give you an example. Through my life, the only stationary and yet evolving, but the only thing I could always count on was my spirituality. That has always been, has never left. It changes, transforms through ascension, descension, reascension, developing, expansion of spiritual gifts, but it was always there. I've always been able to count on that, and through that I know exactly who I am, because that is not covered in ego. However, and let me tell you this, that was another epiphany I had today. When my husband and I were talking about how I moved so fast, at one point I kind of dropped into my chair, that my brain couldn't keep up with what was happening visually. So my aura just appeared. It doesn't always, but it does whenever there's when my brain kind of shuts off, I see my aura very clearly. Otherwise, it usually happens in the shower when I'm completely relaxed and not thinking about anything but just being. Okay. But today it happened like that. And I have these shooting stars that are in my aura. Some days they come towards me, other days they move from me. And we were talking about my husband, he was connecting it to fire in the tarot cards, and he looked up the cards that hold fire. There's in the deck that he prefers to use, which is the Tarot de Marseille. The Judgment card has an angel blowing a trumpet, and fire comes out of the trumpet. And there's fire in the Moon card coming from below. There's fire in the Sun card coming from above. But there's also fire in the Tower card. The lightning bolt that strikes the tower, and we see the humans jumping from it. It sets the Babel Tower on fire. What happened with me, for instance, was, and I realized this today, with all of the spiritual ascension I did, I was in the Tower of Babel, where I was so close to God that I became arrogant with that energy. I felt like, in all honesty, that I was the one holding the truth, because I have complete connection to God. And God had to strike the Tower of Babel for me so I could come back down. That was when my dissension happened. The dissension has to happen. It has to. Because when we meet God, when we connect with that true essence of life within, and we feel all of that, and we can see all of it, the truth, or at least a part of the truth, it can go to our heads. And instead of it being owned and loved, it becomes an ego trip. So the dissension has to happen. But the beauty of that is, the next card is the star. God cannot channel through us if we're not present on earth. The star is a beautiful woman sitting with long hair and water being poured down upon her from above, and it runs through her onto earth. She's the channel of the divine wisdom and the divine knowledge, the divine truth that wants to come through her in her specific way, in her unique way of expressing it. That doesn't mean she's the only holder of the truth, because everyone who is a channel of this divine energy is. Then, moving into the moon, which is the next card, it is asking us to rise up with that fire towards heaven. That's a physical ascension, the process I'm doing right now. It's like, lift me up, move out of my emotional body only, which is the moon, a very good controller of, and into my intellect. The very human part of me that can be arrogant, that can have an ego trip, you have to burn all of that away with the moon. Move out of the emotions. You cannot let them possess you. They are there and they're meant to run through you, but they're meant to uplift you into the sun, where the sun as God can shine upon you and through you and make you happy. So you can do your calling, number 20, judgment, and finish your job here on earth, the universe or the world, number 21. This was my epiphany today by my husband asking me about, or talking about my aura and these weird like shooting stars, I don't know what else to call it, like lights that are flying in it. And so I've already had a lot of epiphanies. I've been up early, as you can hear, but there's all of this energy wrapped up in today. And it does connect to Palm Sunday. How do you reapproach life? How do you resurrect yourself in this energy as a new you? How do you allow yourself to do that? Just know you're loved all the way. And there's always going to be someone who can support you in it. There's always going to be someone who's happy to see your progress. There's always going to be someone who's going to make your path easier. You're not alone. And even here in our little group, you are not alone. We're walking this together. And each of us here, I know, will applaud and acknowledge you for your own progress. And we want to see you, and we want to hear you, and we want to be that acknowledgement for you. So please share. Write a post, make a video, share what you are experiencing and what you have experienced. Look at the resurrection. Look at how you are becoming new. Let's share it with each other and let's see each other for what we really are. I would love that. Please share. It's so important. Okay. There's a lot of energy today, so I know time is running, and we have been like, I've been talking a lot right now about all of that, but it was important. Clear. The Matrix fell out, so let's see if it comes out again. No, it didn't. Oh, I hadn't, I need to knock on it and blow on it to put new energy into it. So that's my process. That's how I have to do things. And then the cards can speak to me. But there's always something in the first card that falls out anyways. But today we get miracles. And I decided to use the Magdalene Oracle deck today. She just called to me, like the Gilded called to me. And perhaps that was just for the swans. We'll see. I will pull a card from it though. But miracles are showing up here. Beautiful. and the sun right there in the middle of the tree. We have this Danish song that's about the tree of life. And it's funny because that's been playing in my head all morning. So I'm kind of connected to that. Let's see, miracles. Here it is. And the card says, your determination, commitment, and perseverance is about to pay off, and all you have worked towards will soon manifest. It will soon be time to celebrate your achievements. However, you're cautioned not to get too elated. That is with the thing about being humble, right? Thank the universe for all you achieve and keep focused. Do not lose sight of your original purpose and intentions. Keep in mind that all you do should not only serve you, but all those around you. How important is that, right? In doing this, the universe will continue to guide you and offer its assistance. Visualize your work and influence reaching larger numbers of people. Imagine this happening with ease and only in ways that make you feel comfortable. It takes no more effort to think big than to think small. And remember that a miracle is always possible no matter what situation you find yourself in. And to me, these are small miracles that I've had today. That my daughter sent me the thing with the swan, the number 24, and I choose the Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck, and that's where we have number 24 with the swans and how it connects to today's number. Like, what's not to like about that? That's a little miracle for me. Okay, let's go to the Gilded. Let's see if it wants to share something. See if it wants to share something else with us. Yeah. And what's interesting is that we get the book. The book number 26 is offering wisdom. And it is interesting how I talked to my husband about this. I found 2 books that I want to read. And one of them is called the Book of Wisdom. And well, that book, you can look it up as well, but the book is about how astrology connects to the Bible, that connects to the interpretation of the Bible and our physical existence here on Earth. As you know, I'm on the path of physical ascension. I had a vision this morning about like how my soul is only just reaching right above my heart. And I have to uplift myself physically, like with my mind, to own everything I am. So I still have a bit to swallow of my soul. Okay, let me read this to you, number 26. Oops. The book. The book of knowledge. The book of secrets. What I house is educational and private. I may be your project or your research, and sometimes your studies and journals. Watch out for the cards around me, because with the sun, you will, wow, you will see right through me. I'm hidden, I'm unknown, but occasional knowledge I might learn. The book draws attention to the power of knowledge and the importance of possessing it. This card may suggest there's something somebody needs to know. However, this will only become apparent with the presence of the cards around it. I want to say that the cards around it is this, and it does hold the sun. So I wish to connect this with how years ago the Holy Spirit said to me, the more you understand of the physical realm, like the more you understand of the knowledge that has been channeled through other people, the more you read, the more you study, the better I can speak through you, the clearer I can speak through you, because then you understand what you're saying. And that actually makes sense to me with this. it connects to the purpose that I was talking about. What is your purpose? What is the town that you're riding in on a donkey on? And what is your purpose there? Like Jesus knew what he was doing there. What are you doing in your life? What is your path ahead? Where is it taking you? Is it taking you here? It says you know without knowing. And the sun will shine upon it through the miracles that are being shown to you, like my small epiphanies today, or acausal synchronistic happenings. Those are miracles for me. Jung called them acausal synchronistic happenings. The Course in Miracles will call it miracles. What does this show you? What do these epiphanies or small miracles in your life teach you? What knowledge do they bring? What's the wisdom in them? Okay, moving on to the tarot. Clear. Let's see what wants to come out now. Yeah, that's very clear. Yeah, wow. Okay. Okay, that's a bit much. I want to make sure that I didn't neglect any of the cards from talking. Okay, wow, okay, this is, wow. The cards that I'm holding here were the top ones, but in a big stack. That just fell out before. And I was like, okay, put them back in, shuffle again. And here they are. So those were the cards I didn't want to neglect. First, we get the Seven of Swords, which is called futility. We get the Two of Swords, peace, and we get the Devil. I had a dream about the devil the other night, or I didn't know I was the devil, but it was a male-female thing that I was to marry, and that woman didn't want to marry me, and I had to kind of drag him. It was a 192 centimeters tall male, but looked like a woman with boobs, in a white t-shirt and sand-colored chinos, and had this brown curly hair, and wearing glasses, like never someone I would marry like that. But I wanted to marry this woman, and it was so important for me. And when I spoke to my husband about this weird dream, he said, that's Lucifer. But Lucifer, remember, means light. And here's the devil. And the devil is in some cards represented as an androgynous being. First, I was like, okay, that's the mix of the masculine and feminine in me that I need to take ownership of. But it's the light in me that I need to take ownership of. And my husband said to me that you are neglecting your spirituality. It needs an outlet. It needs a vessel. It wants to be here. Because when it's not, it can be occupied by what is not good. And when I see these cards with it, so the Seven of Swords is what if, what if, what if. And the Two of Swords says, find peace. Don't pull yourself into that what if energy. Because what if it happened in a good way? What if something beautiful happened? Then turn it that way. But this is always like, I might as well just give up in advance because it's never going to happen. And the card says, find peace, find stillness. And then I want to say this, that's why I mentioned my dream, because your spirituality needs a vessel. It needs a temple. It needs your body. Because if you're not owning your divine presence, your soul in your body, the devil can take its place. Meaning all of the negative thoughts. And then what came out in addition to this, and I do believe that this is the answer. First card is the Knight of Cups. A male energy presenting himself with gifts, with love, with actual presence, who wants to connect, who's reaching out. There might even be a man from your past or your life who's reaching out in a different way, but also maybe someone who's resurrecting, offering himself to you. And then we get the Wheel of Fortune again, which connects to in the beginning of the month, I believe it was the first in March, where we get the double of the Wheel of Fortune. And here it is again. It's like now we're wrapping things up. What we started with in March is what we're ending with in March. And I connect them to the devil because they came out with him first. And then when I pulled the second time, they came out together, but they did come out with this one to begin with. When we're down with the Wheel of Fortune, it can seem dark. It can seem very unpleasant. And in that stage, it's really easy to fall for this energy. I might as well just give up. It's horrible. I cannot do this. I'm not good enough and all of that. But when you're up and it's, everything is wonderful. It's magical. And then we can also fall for the devil. We can go, I'm so good. Like it building our ego bigger. And here I actually feel like that was why I had to sense into who is he? What is that energy? And it doesn't matter whether you are down or up in the Wheel of Fortune. He presents the miracle. He is the bringer of the light. He is the bringer of the miracle. See, that is actually what Lucifer means, the bringer of light. So when something bad happens, and this is important to remember, there's an emphasis on it right now. When something is important in our lives, we become very strong in it. And it can seem like it can take us into, like I said, the ego. And if we don't believe in it, really, it will take us down. The giver of miracles, the bringer of light, brings the light so you can see. So even when something feels bad and you feel caught in a mental cycle, a spiral that's just pulling you down, look for the light in that. Like I always say, look for the gift in anything. Because when you look for the gift, you're looking for the light, and then you can extract positivity from it, and the Wheel of Fortune will spin easier upwards. He's the bringer of light. He's the bringer of miracles. And I'm not talking about the devil or Lucifer. But when demons appeared in my life, I failed to understand their messages in the beginning. I was afraid of them. I didn't want to look at them. I wanted them to get out of my life as quickly as possible. Until one day I didn't. And that was the last time I saw a demon in my own life for myself. Because it represents a fear so fundamental. And God wants us to see that fear, because when fear is there, it's blocking the true natural essence of love. It's keeping us from it. So we need to look at the demons in our lives, to go through the fear, to leave the fear behind and move into love. And here it says, love is right here. Miracles are right here. I'm presenting you with the light. So whatever situation you're in, whether you're down in the Wheel of Fortune or you're up in the Wheel of Fortune, always look for the gift and be humble. Don't allow yourself to be humiliated. That is not what I'm saying, but allow yourself to be humble enough to receive the gift. Really good energy. But maybe this is what we're feeling today. Can I trust myself? That was what I felt. Can I trust myself? Can I trust these people? Who says you have to? Let it grow. Let it be a process. Nobody moves into trust 100% like this. If you've watched me for some time, you have seen my model that is called the Passage of Courage. I was given this as a teaching model for myself and for me to share with others, that it's not easy to move from where we are to where we want to go, and that where we want to go is actually what our soul is driving us towards. It takes courage to get from A to B. or for some A to Z. And the worst thing you can lose is hope. And hope is what drives courage. And for us to keep hope, miracles will come. Epiphanies will come. Acausal synchronicities will come. Okay. It's going to be a very short meditation today, but I do feel it's important. It's going to be more like a prayer. I invite you to close your eyes and put your hands into prayer, whatever that looks like for you, and move into your heart. Maybe travel from your crown chakra or third eye. I myself feel called to my third eye to travel down through my head, through my neck, my throat, and into my heart. And here I am positioning myself to see clearly, and I'm presented with a prayer that I will share with you. Dearest God, Father, protect me, shield me from all evil. Keep me safe so I feel safe enough to open my heart and be present in the life that you have given me. Allow me to see, be aware, and conscious of your miracles every day and every second and minute of the day. Help me and support me in being present enough to see, to experience, and to receive all of your gifts, whether they come through struggle and hardships or ease and peaceful moments. Let my heart be open to receive your light and your love, so I may live life fully and in trust. Whatever that looks like in the moment, open my heart to trusting myself more and deeper by trusting my connection to you more and deeper. Also open my heart to learn how to trust the people that I lost trust and faith in. And let me understand that they are only humans as well, just like me, and that some days I may also need a second chance or a third chance or however many we're at with this particular person in this particular constellation. I ask you for guidance, angelic guidance, healing, and protection. Watch over me as I move in full faith that the path you have built for me, that lies right ahead of me, I trust each step and the direction that you're leading me and taking me in. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Sometimes when we pray, like for me, this was a channeling, but a channeling from my heart and my soul as to what I need. And I was asking, how can I pray for everyone here, everyone involved? What do we all need? And there might be some part of the prayer that relates more to you than others. And that's okay. I trust you now to have a good day. Enjoy your week ahead. And hopefully I'll have time to be here on Wednesday and do a live as to how we open and what energy we're opening April with. If not, it's because this energy holds. Miracles are abound. Gifts will be received, and light is a given. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.